Hello to all dear attendees of this valuable conference. I hope all of you be safe and healthy. I'm Kaveh Hajialiakbari, an urban regeneration expert and CEO of UROT, Urban Renewal Organization of Tehran, which is the responsible agency in Tehran municipality for renewal and regeneration of obsolescent and deteriorated areas. Today, on behalf of my colleagues, Mr. Ali Khani, who is the Deputy of Urban Planning and Development in UROT, and Mr. Portaghi, who is a Senior Expert of Neighborhood Development in UROT, present the findings of our recent research about one of the fundamental challenges of urban regeneration process, which is continuity of habitation. Urban regeneration, due to its interventionist nature, has some effects on the life of local communities. Regeneration projects can displace current residents, and we, as urban practitioners, want to control and reduce the side effect of intervention. In this presentation, I tell you the trajectory of regeneration policy in Tehran to approach this intention. Tehran is a city adjacent to main faults in north and south parts. Hence, the city is vulnerable against earthquake. Due to the last surveys and obligations of official institutions, there are 270,000 unstable residential parcels in Tehran. Majority of them is located in central part of the city. Deteriorated areas of Tehran, which are most vulnerable parts of the city against earthquake, are about 4,500 hectares, 7% of the city's area, which include 80% of the residents. Aforementioned areas, in addition to instability, are impermeable and have narrow passes with widths less than 6 meters. Also, in deteriorated areas of Tehran, overcrowd and high density of population, loss and lack of amenities, low value of properties, and low quality of environment are common features. One of the specifications of deteriorated areas of Tehran is the low area of parcels. As you can see in the table, 60% of parcels have an area less than 100 square meter, and also 92% of parcels have an area less than 200 square meter. In Tehran, due to the regulations of comprehensive plan, to enjoy predicted density in reconstruction process, a parcel needs to have at least 200 square meters area. So, almost all of parcels in deteriorated areas cannot enjoy zoning density, and there is a need to land readjustment or land assembly to prepare minimum area. Hence, from 1980s, land assembly has been one of the policies which was adopted by municipality in housing renewal. In 80s, when first interventions commenced, there was a major tendency to mega-scale projects, projects which were defined by numerous parcels and large area lands. The land of these kind of projects was acquired by buying current parcels and displacement of current inhabitants. And after construction of new properties, built new units were sold to new residents. Now projects at the heart of the city is the flag project of this approach, which was defined in 80s and implemented in 90s by buying 2,000 parcels and displacement of 10,000 people. Near 3,800 new apartments were sold to new inhabitants. In a survey which was completed in 2005, it was determined that none of the old residents of district inhabited in the built units. But What is the problem of displacement? I can define it as loss of sense of belonging. The phenomenon in Nawab calls to the generation of an appropriate context for informal and illegal activities, for crime, and for creation of indefensible spaces. The consequence of these circumstances in Nawab is that the average period of habitation in the project is less than 5 years, and only 8% of residents live in project for more than 10 years. Social negative consequences of top-down and authoritative intervention like Nawab project navigated Tehran municipality to adopt a new approach in late of last decade. The main specifications of new approach were to deliver housing renewal process to owners and local investors, and to define small-scale projects, to involve main stakeholders and economic interests in our renewal, and to describe public sector's role as a supporter and not as an executor, by provision incentives for housing renewals such as building permit discounts, low interest loans, more construction density, and etc. So, from 2010, Tehran municipality started to establish facilitation offices in deteriorated areas to make direct and continuous dialogue with residents, to adapt plans with the unique circumstances of every area, to inform people and raise their participation in renewal process, to find investors and constructors for residents, and to connect them as equal partners. Hence, mega-scale reconstructions were replaced by small-scale land assembly projects, which I say them LAPs. LAPs had certain advantages such as their scale and its effect on realization of project, their adaptation with residents' lifestyle, the delivery of interest to partners, the fewer period of construction, and etc. From 2012, LAPs turned into major method in housing renewal in deteriorated areas of Tehran. Today, more than 50% of housing renewal projects are defined by land assembly. The average parcels in each project are 3, and the area of each project is average 215 square meters. A survey I did in 2016 in 118 LAPs approved that almost 100% of all residents before renewal process were still living in new apartments, at least 2 years after reconstruction. As final comment, I can conclude that LAPs as small-scale, participatory, and partner-based housing renewal projects have guaranteed habitation continuity and have almost adaptation with residents' lifestyle. Thank you very much.